Not dealing with this. Those are terms of the policy. You agree with it, you buy it. You don't agree with it, don't buy it and take the risk. It's up to you. Look for another policy. And we're not dealing here with halal and haram. This is a contract. You see, this is a contract. And those are the terms of the contract. Like, for example, I make a contract with somebody to do my driveway. I want it to be done by Friday. If you don't do it by Friday, I'm going to charge you $100 a day for delay. You see? The guy said, you are harami, you know, you're a cheater, you're this. Don't do it. Don't be late. I must get done on Friday. You don't have the capacity to get it done on Friday, don't sign a contract. But when you sign a contract, you're liable. You know, those are conditions, provisions in the contract. You either agree to it or you don't agree with it. When you're buying insurance, tell you. The agent will tell you. Now on TV, they tell you, we have what they call a forgiveness policy. The first accident, we're not going to charge you. You know, some people address that particular point, but it has nothing to do with me. Yes.
موضوع التكافل الاجتماعي for the other solution for people who accepted the life insurance, they compare it with تكافل اجتماعي for helping a member of society. So that's the same thing. If you are living in a real Islamic society, they will not leave those people to actually be away. So other people will help, and subhanallah, maybe they will gather more than the person in their life.
There's a big difference between التكافل الاجتماعي and the insurance company. The big difference that the scholars have made it is التكافل الاجتماعي is halal, you know, for us to incorporate ourselves into some kind of a block or a box or cooperation where each one of us will pay like $100 into this account. If one of those participants have calamity, then we can take from that box or we can take from that account to help that particular person who has the calamity. They call it takaful ijtimai.
That's like social obligations? Social obligations?
Islamic
Support.
social obligation or cooperation.
Social support.
Cooperation. Social support. It's a social cooperation or social support, either way.
Social cooperation or social support. This is halal. What is the difference between this one and the insurance company? The scholar said the big difference is that this is not for profit and nobody gets the benefit of it, the social cooperation, versus that the insurance company was made for profit and for the benefit of the members of they made that particular cooperation. So, and that's what Dr. Mustafa Zara rahimahullah said. You're making it haram because it's a profit. Why is it haram? Why? I'm making for you a service company. Service company. Who told you service company is haram? Who told you service company is haram? Service company is not haram. It's providing something, services, whatever those services, providing services for benefit. Why is this haram? You know, where all our kings, they have those people, counselor, you know, they sit with them. Only what they do, they bounce ideas against them. And they tell them, right, wrong, I think this way, I think that way. What do they do? Service. Do you have any action, any work? No. But they get paid highly. All the counselors don't do nothing. They just talk. They use their brain. They use their knowledge and their capacity. Okay? Service. Yes, service is halal. Service contract.
Okay, as far as life insurance, you mentioned Dr. Mustafa Zarqa, his opinion. Is this accepted by other scholars?
No. No. Even the original study of Dr. Mustafa Zarqa was not accepted by the others. That's why he went to the first Islamic meeting for all the scholars in Amman. And they all spoke against him. And he wrote that in the book. By the way, the book he made, he wrote that. He said, I went to that Muqtamar conference and everybody spoke against me. They did not accept my idea. You know, and Sheikh al-Qardawi, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him, Sheikh al-Qardawi was one of the guy in the 60s and the 70s who spoke against him. The Sheikh al-Qardawi came back in 2000, and after the 1990 and 2000, he came back and he said, right now, we realize that the Dr. Zirqa was ahead of us 30, 40 years. He acknowledged that. Now some of the scholars are acknowledging his study. But in the beginning, when he done it in Amman in the 60s, in the 70s, in 75, even in the early 80s, no, they did not. But every time, the opposition is getting easier, lesser and lesser, you know, until Dr. Qardawi, you know, even Dr. Qardawi nowadays is relating to too much of the subject of Dr. Zirqa. Yes, sister.
يا شيخ المحترم العزيز أسألك إيش التاكسي الفلوس حقه حرام؟
No, that's no. He gave an example. أعطى example. فكرت إنه التاكسي فلوسه حرام. When I told you why it's haram, and I told you for the taxi, she thought that taxi in general is haram.
Taxi.
Tax.
Taxi.
ما يمنون.
جاوبتوا؟
أنت تقبل حالك يا عمي.
Is it true that Sheikh al-Qardawi also ruled, issued a fatwa that mortgage carrying is halal?
For what I know is, I read his letter. He's talking about the question that the Sheikh al-Qardawi made the mortgages for the houses with interest, he made it halal. Sheikh al-Qardawi did not say that. Okay? And I read the first letter came out, and I also wrote the second book that he made specifically for that one. He said too many people are talking about that I made the riba for mortgages halal. He said I did not. And he titled that booklet, it's a booklet, he titled it Riba al-Bunuk Haram. This is the title. The interest of banks are haram. That's the title of the booklet that he made. What he said is what I said earlier. الضرورات تبيح المحظورات والضرورة تقدر بقدرها والضرورة تقدر بقبل صاحبها. He said necessity can break the rule. You see? And the necessity, it will be by its measure. And you are the one who could say whether that I have necessity or not. And he even gave an example to that one. He said, let's say there's a guy who has 6, 7 children. Muslim people, they have a lot of children. You go try to buy a house, to rent a house with 6, 7 children. If the rent was 800, he's going to charge you 1,400 because your kids, Afarid, they're gonna demolish the house. So they charge you more. And then every year, the law give them the right to increase your rent, 5 to 10%. So here you're going up and up and up and up. And then you're not making that much. Your kids are growing, so the expenses is getting more, okay? And your mortgage, your rent is going more, so you cannot make it. You have to pay here or you have to pay here. So this guy, he has no way. Nobody is renting him, or they're charging him too much for the rent, okay? They're taking advantage of his situation. So this guy, he knows that he's going to reach a point that he's not going to meet his obligation toward the children, or toward the house, or the expense, or toward the rent. So what does this guy do? He can go ahead and buy a house. He can buy a house and make it easier on him. Why? Because the same house that you're renting for $1,200 or $1,400, you can buy with mortgage for $500 or $600. So you can make it better for you. He made it okay for this guy He made it make it okay for anybody. And also, him and other scholars, they made so many provisions, which are, let's talk about it, which are, because it's widely spread and it's not right. If you can live in a house that's worth $60,000, you should not buy a house for $100,000. One, provision number one. You live within your means. Okay, some people said, well, I'm going to get a loan from the bank. I have good credit, you know, and so the bank can give me a loan for $1,000 a month payment, and $1,000 a month payment, I can go buy me a house, you know, for $150,000 in such and such area. No, you should not. Number one. Number two, I have saved some money. You have to pay all the money that you have toward that house, because there's something wrong. You're trying to minimize it. That loan is wrong. That loan is a disease. It's something you need to get rid of. So what you do is you need to pay every penny you have toward that particular loan. Okay? Because it's a necessity. The third provision is, let's say that the bank can give me